kind of describe what it is a little bit for people who don't know exactly what shorthand is.
It's just a series of like circles and lines and curved lines and small, medium, and large that you form to string together to sound out words. It's not based on spelling, it's based on sounds of words. And then there are brief forms too that are just real shortened versions of words that are used quite often. And I remember in college we had to, there in the back of our steno pads there was a list of brief forms, and we had to be able to read them all within 1 minute. And sometimes brief forms stood for like 3 different words. And, about, acknowledge, advantage, advertise, after. I still remember the beginning of them, of the brief forms. But I never would have believed I would remember it this long, using it as little as I do. Somehow it's just been kind of ingrained.
How often do you think you use it now? Is it?
Oh, I would say once a month, maybe.
Memo to Claire Olson from Deb Levchak.
Now I pretty much only use it when Darlene's away from her desk and Debbie needs to dictate something, or just notes to myself, things like that.
When Michelle and she was my secretary for about, 25 years? And frankly, I was better dictating to her than dictating on the dictaphone. I was much more fluid. And she said, why don't we just always do it by shorthand? I said, fine with me. And so that's what we do. And I'm very comfortable dictating to Michelle.
What do you think the difference is? Like, why would you be much more fluid dictating to shorthand?
I think because, first of all, because I'm woefully incompetent from a technical standpoint. I mean, also because then I'm not worried about turning on and off and going and those sorts of things. When this is like a conversation. I'm only very one-sided.
But when I was taking board minutes, then that would be a day and a half or 2 days way back in the early 80s. Of solid days of shorthand taking notes for the meetings. Then your hand got kind of sore and you needed to take a break. And if I'm on the phone, I'm usually either shorthand or phone message or something. If it gets a little long, then I switch to shorthand. But anything that we travel with the computer for, we use that. And just that it's kind of neat. It's kind of like a foreign language. You can frustrate people by, whenever I was taking notes, like at PTO or parents and demonettes meetings, people would always lean over and kind of take a look and try to figure out what you were writing. And you just kind of smile at them and keep going.